You already know what time it is. How to start day trading, right? Let's go ahead and get into today's video.
Blue screens give me goosebumps. I'm not knowing what it
Get started with day trading. I'm going to go over the 5 steps that you need to get started with day trading. Now, here exactly is how you do it. Now, the first thing that we're going to do when we get started with day trading, you got to know what broker to use, right? So this is the broker that I'm going to recommend everybody to use. Now, if you trade regular Forex, and you want to understand the difference between majors, minors. Now, what is a major, right? Let's go ahead and Google it so you guys can know. A major Forex pair, right? So let's go to Google real quick. You know, Google got a lot of answers, but rather than me breaking it down so y'all can just see it on the screen with me at the same time, let's look at it, right? Major Forex pairs. Major Forex pairs are going to be things like the US dollar, the euro, the Japanese yen, the British pound, and the Swiss franc, right? Those are some of the major currencies. Now, the most traded currencies, they even have it on here. The US dollar versus the Canadian dollar is one of the most traded currencies. The Australian dollar versus the US dollar, and also the New Zealand dollar versus the US dollar. Now, what are minors? Minors are pairs that are not these major pairs. They're smaller pairs, right? Now let's go ahead and actually Google and look that up. What are some minor pairs? You kind of want to know what these are, but one thing I'm gonna just recommend for y'all to do when it comes to trading, just trade a major Forex pair, which is going to be GBP USD. The major Forex pairs is going to be GBP USD. That's the one you want to start out with. That's the one you want to stick with. That's the one you want to trade until you grow your account to 1,000 plus. That's the pair you want to trade until you grow your account to 1,000 plus. Now here are the minor Forex pairs. The euro versus the British pound, the Australian dollar versus the euro versus the Australian dollar, British pound versus the Japanese yen, the Swiss franc versus the Japanese yen, the New Zealand dollar versus the Japanese yen, and the British pound versus the Canadian dollar. Now, minor pairs are basically pairs that are crosses, pairs that mix with different pairs. A major pair is any pair that has the US dollar before it or US dollar after it, right? So that's why we saw the euro versus the US dollar, the British pound versus the US dollar, the US dollar versus the Canadian dollar. Now, the strongest, best major pair to use when you're a beginner just starting out learning how to trade Forex is the British pound versus the US dollar. All right, now the next thing that you got to know, what broker to use. NVFX.com, right? This is the broker you want to use. It's super simple, super easy to use. That is something that you want to do, right? Now, let's go ahead and continue to go through. Now, the next thing that you want to know is how to start actually getting your trades out there, right? How to actually input your trades and do all of that. What platform do you use to input your trades? Now, I have a video on this. I'm going to put this up here, right? So you guys can see how to actually work this. You want to make sure that you download MetaTrader 4. You can trade it on a computer. You can trade on your tablet, your laptop, whatever you want to trade on. That's what you can trade on. MetaTrader 4 is what you're going to use. Don't worry about MetaTrader 5. Yes, MetaTrader 5 is something that you can use to trade and make money as well, but MetaTrader 4 is the most commonly used one, and it's the easiest to use. MetaTrader 5 is the updated version, but if you haven't mastered on trading MetaTrader 4 and don't have a super large account, don't even use MetaTrader 5. It wouldn't make sense for you to switch, right? So stick with MetaTrader 4. Use NVFX.com for the broker that you choose to use. Stick with the major pair when you're first starting out, which is going to be the GBP versus USD, the British pound versus the US dollar. Now, the next thing, you got to know what platform to use to be able to understand the market, right? Now, this is what you're going to use when you're practicing your markups, right? When you want to know how the market moves, you want to go to TradingView, tradingview.com. You can go to Google and Google TradingView, or you can just type in tradingview.com, right? So let's go ahead and look at it, right? TradingView is what you're going to spend a lot of time on because this is going to be the real timing of when the market is moving. Now, the market is currently open right now. The market is going to stay open until Friday and is going to end around, I think, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right? Now, when you first come in, it's going to look super, super blank like this, right? You always want to make sure that you're just really messing with the Forex pairs. Now, when it comes to navigating the TradingView platform, right, you have your tools, right? You got the cross, the arrow, the eraser. You mostly want to use the arrow and the cross. Now, these lines are kind of when you start learning how to use your strategy, right? This is mainly where you learn how to use a strategy. You might use the brush. You're probably not gonna use it, but you're definitely gonna use the rectangle whenever you're trying to mark up stuff. You're gonna use the text tool a lot, just leaving notes for yourself and all of that. Most people don't know how to use this, but whenever you're buying something in the foreign exchange market, it's going to call long, right? You want to use a long position tool to find your stop loss and your take profit. Now, what is your stop loss? Your stop loss is what's going to protect you and take you out of a trade whenever you enter. Now, how does trading work? When you're first trading, it works. My light just went out. Let me go ahead and turn right back on. All right, cool. When you first start trading, how does this work? It works in pips. Now, what exactly is a pip? Now, we can go ahead and get the Google answer, or I can answer it for you. But rather than doing that, let's just go ahead and look it up. All right. Let's go to Google and let's Google what a pip is. Now, this is the unit that is used when you are trading Forex. This is the unit that they use to trade Forex. That is how you make your money. But you make money per each pip. Now, one pip, if you put in $1, it could be 10 cents. Now, if you put in 10 cents, that's going to be 1 cent for every one pip that it moves. If you put in $10, it's going to be $1 for every pip that it moves. If you put in $100, it's going to be 10 pips for every pip that it moves. If you put in $1,000, it's going to be 100 pips for every pip that it moves, and so forth. Right now, what is a pip? Now, what is considered a pip? Now, the pip is going to be, let us go back, let us go back, let us go back, let us go back. Now, here is the definition of what a pip is, right? Now, the pip is called percentage in point or point price interest point. Now, really, it's really just percentage in point, right? It's really, really simple. Now, this is the standard unit that you use when it comes to trading, but it's going to be exchanged into whatever currency that you either indicated that you want to use on your broker. If you're in the US, you use the US dollar. If you're in Europe, you're going to use the euro. If you're in the UK, you're going to use the British pound. If you're in New Zealand, you're going to use the New Zealand dollar. If you're in most Asian countries, you're going to use the Japanese yen, but for every particular country, right, it's going to be different, right? I think India is the rupee, right, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, those are the currencies that you're going to have. Now, that is what a pip is. Now, each time that the market moves is either going to go up 1 pip or down 1 pip. Now, the way that you actually find out what a pip is by the 4th decimal point, right? So right here, 1, 2, 3, and 4. This is a pip, right? This 4th number is considered a pip. Now, on each particular pair is different, but let's actually look on a US pair. A Forex pair, GBP versus USD. This 4th number right here, 1 is the first number. Then you go to the decimal point. The 3 is the second number. The 8 is the third number. The 4 is the 4th number. So that's the pip. So each time it goes from, like right now, you see it went from 41, 419 to 418. That means it went down a pip. Now, really, the easiest way to calculate a pip, you go right here, you use the ruler tool, and it lets you know. Boom. We're on a daily time frame. Let's go down to the 15 minutes so you guys can actually see like how it really looks. Really, really looks in time. Now, like I said, you use the ruler tool. You're going to click the ruler, and let's go from right here. Let's go down, right? See, that was just 5 pips. That was just 14 pips. That was 20 pips. So if you want to calculate pips, use the ruler tool. That's simple. Whatever you're trying to calculate. Let's say you're trying to calculate 10 pips. Wherever you're entering your trade at, go 10 pips. Right? And how much money you put in. This is very important to know how much money you put in. When you're trading on your MetaTrader 4 platform, let's say you put in $1,000. You only want to trade 20% of that. Risk management is super important. Only trade 20%. Only trade with, no, I'm tripping. Only trade with 2%. 2% of that $1,000. Now, 2% of $1,000 is going to be $20. So you should not be taking trades no more than $20. Really, if you're just starting out, you should not be taking trades no more than $10. So that means for every trade that you take, You should not open it with no more than $20 if you have $1,000 in your account. If you got 100, you should not open it up no more with $2.50. All right. Now, how this is going to work. Let's say I took this trade right here. Right. Let's say I took this trade right here. And I say, hey, I want to sell the market. I want to sell the market. And I think we can get 15 pips out this trade. I want to put $20 on this trade. So if the market goes 10 pips, you make $20 because in that $20, each pip is worth $2. 2 times 10 is 20. Now, if the market goes 15 pips, each pip is worth $2. So it is 2 times 15. 2 times 15 is 30. So you made $30 on that trade. Now, there's the important part. You have to have a strategy to know how to exactly make money in the market. So now this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to actually log in to my account and show you my strategy that I use really quickly when I do manually trade Forex, right? So let's go ahead and go to tradingview.com, and then I'm going to log in to my account and show you guys how I trade the Forex market and what strategy that I use, because it's very important. It's very important that you have a strategy when you're trading inside of the Forex market. If you're trading inside the Forex market and you just gambling and you don't have a strategy, you're guaranteed going to blow your account, lose your money. There's tons of people on my channel that support me that are doing exactly that. They don't know what they're doing. They're spending 6, 7, 8, 9 hours on a chart, not even know what they're doing. Now, I have a Patreon, which is Saucy, which is patreon.com/Saucy1KVibes407 that structurally puts out what to do when you're in the foreign exchange market, because most people want to learn how to trade Forex. They may not have the means to do everything. So for $10 a month, you can easily get access to all of that. That's structured learning. For $30 a month, you can hop on a Zoom call with me 1 time a week, every single Sunday. There's also going to be more stuff on there. Give me stuff about credit, stuff about real estate, and other things when I am around individuals that have expertise in fields that I don't have expertise in, right? So let's get into the strategy, right? Let's actually use the British pound, GBP USD. Let's take this off. So if you guys want to know what I'm using, the indicator that I'm using, to have a video on that. Matter of fact, let's not even show you. I have a video on that. I'm going to put that as the end screen, the best indicator used for Forex trading, right? That's going to be the end screen. So you guys can know the indicator that I am using, right? So now what this is telling me that the market is kind of going the other way. It is going the other way. So we're going to look and see if we can find opportunity to sell. Now, why do I know that this is an opportunity to sell? Because of my strategy. But if I was to look at the overall market, let's just kind of look at what it's been doing for the past 2 weeks. For the past 2 weeks, the market has been going this direction, basically down. Little by little, basically it's been going down, right? So we're in a downtrend right now, right? Whenever the market is kind of just going down. Now, with the strategy that I'm going to tell you guys, which is called the Delorean strategy, anytime you see the EMAs, they're on top. That means we're in a downtrend. Anytime you see the EMAs and they're on the bottom, that means we're in an uptrend. Now, if the EMAs are on top, we're going to look to sell. If the EMAs are on the bottom, we're going to look to buy. So now you're going to ask yourself 4 questions. BCLS, bigger cut location space. If you get a yes to all 4 questions, you take the trade. Now we ask ourselves these 4 questions as confirmations to hop in a trade. If we get a yes to all 4 questions, we click the button on our MetaTrader 4 app, enter the trade, and we don't think twice about it, right? You vividly see it. I scroll out, the blue lines on the bottom, white lines on the bottom, aqua lines on the bottom. Now, all of these are EMAs, which means exponential moving average. They're all basically, to make it super simple, each line has an importance because it is like a magnet. On whatever time frame that is on, you always want to be super close to this aqua line, which is called the 50 EMA. The closer you are to it and you have your confirmations, which is your 4 steps next to it, that means you're going to make a lot of money. Now, let's find an example. I just need a simple example for y'all. I see a whole bunch of them, but it's not something. All right, I found one, but it's not the best one, but I just need to get an example out. All right, cool. Now, this one is good. Not the best one, but it's close to this aqua line. Like I told you guys, I'm going to box it. Now, here's a strategy. It's called the Delorean strategy. Now, the first step, you always want to have one candle bigger than the other. The second step, you want to have a line cutting through. The third step, you want to have your aqua line closely below for a buy. Then the fourth step, you want to make sure you have space for money, which means you don't have any lines in your way, right? Like if you're looking to buy, you don't want no lines above or on top of where you're trying to buy it. If you're trying to sell, you don't want no lines below of where you're trying to enter. Or if you're trying to make money, you don't want no lines in your way. Now, step one. My candles are blue and red. Blue means buyers are in control. Red means sellers are in control. Step one, is this blue candle bigger than the red? Obviously, you can't see that. Like, I don't know what to tell you, right? This blue candle is way bigger than the red. Step two, this red line cuts all the way through the red and the blue candle that I have boxed. Step three, is the aqua line closely below the red and blue candle that I have boxed? Yes, it is, right? Now, these two candles is basically called an engulfing candle. One candle has to be bigger than the other, right? Whenever you see something like this, a blue candle bigger than the red candle for a buy, you're doing good. Whenever you have the red line cutting through both of those two candles that we're looking at right now, whenever the chart is just blank, let's say I took this away, this blue candle is called an engulfing candle. If you see something like this, that's good. If you got this red line coming through, that's good. If you got this aqua line below, which is step three, that's super good. Now, step one, you want the blue candle to be bigger than the red. Step two, the red line must cut through both of the two candles that we're looking at, which I am going to box again. Step three, you want the aqua line to be within 10 pips. Like I said, you can use the ruler tool to find that out. It's within 1 pip. That's perfect. Step four, you want to make sure you have no space. You want to make sure you have a lot of space, right? Space to make money. Now, the way you can use that is you can use the ruler tool again. If you have a line within 10 pips of your way, you do not take the trade. We have no lines in the way. I have nothing but blank black space. So that means I'm going to have the opportunity to make money. So I would have took this trade. We would have made a little bit of money, not that much, but it still would have been a good trade, right? Now, the result of this trade, in the 15-minute time frame, 15, 30, 45, and 45 minutes of being in this trade, we made, let's say we put $10, 36, basically would have made $9 on this trade. It's not a bad trade. We made money. We didn't lose any money. It's not the best example, but it's just an example to show you guys, right? That was an example of a buy. Now I'm going to switch it over and go to something different and then quickly go over the 4 steps again and then get right back into the video to help you guys out when it comes to how to get started with day trading, right? Now, the first step, find a broker, nvfx.com. The second step is you're going to want to download MetaTrader 4. Now, what was I talking about before? The major and minor pairs. Those are just the different pairs that are involved in Forex. Major pairs are any pairs that have US dollar at the ending or beginning of it. Now, for what pair you want to stick with in trade is GBP USD. You always want to stick with that pair as a beginner until you grow your account to 1,000 plus, and you can start trading other pairs. Now, the third thing is TradingView. That is step number 3. You want to use TradingView.com. Step number 4 is you want to have a strategy. Step number 4, you want to have a strategy. Now, let's zoom out and let's see what we're looking for, right? Remember I said if the EMAs are on top, we're looking to sell. If the EMAs are on the bottom, we're looking to buy. Now, right now, the EMAs are looking like they're on top. But if I can't find a good example, I'm going to scroll to the past week and see if I can find some. This is what the market is looking like this week. Market kind of reversed. All right, cool, perfect. Find an example. Found an example, and it's in the perfect time. I'm going to give y'all some bonus steps too. Doesn't cut through, but it is a shift, so that's not bad. But I found another one right here. That's not the best, but it is it passes the steps. All right. Now, step 1 Whenever the market is in a downtrend, like I said, if the EMAs are on top, you're looking to sell. We're gonna look to sell. So the 4 steps for a sell are: is this red candle bigger than the blue candle, right? That I have boxed. If I was to take this box away, do we have a super large red candle bigger than a blue candle? Yes, it is. Now, step 2, does the red line cut through both the red and the blue candle? Yes, it does, right? Click on it. Yes, it does. Step 3, is the aqua line closely above within 10 pips? It is not within 10 pips, so we do not take this trade. So you see how simple and easy that is, right? If you don't get a yes to all 4 questions, you don't take it. So that was an example I want to show you guys. It wasn't a good example, so we never took it. Now, I'm going to zoom out to an older time frame and see if I can find y'all a good example. EMAs on top, selling. EMAs on bottom, buying. All right, perfect. This is cool. This is actually good. We got another buy example. Right now, if y'all remember, you can even comment below. When we have a buy example, what's the first step? Now, if you said the first step was the blue candle should be bigger than the red, like it should be a big blue candle and either a small red candle, or it just got to be a little bit bigger. Then you got step 1 right. Right now, step 2 is the red line should be cutting through. Step 3 is that the aqua line should be closely below within 10 pips. And what are we going to use to find out how many pips we have? If you said the ruler tool, then you got a yes to that too. We're going to use the ruler tool, and it is within 7 pips, right? So step 4, do we have space to make money? Yes. If we got a no to any one of these questions, like the last example, we wouldn't take the trade. But since we're going to yes to all 4, we're going to make money. And guess what? Let's look how much money we would have made on this trade. We'll just stay in this trade for an hour and 15 minutes. And I put $20 on this trade, I would have made $40. $40 in an hour and 15 minutes. An hour and 30 minutes is not bad. Good trade example. So now let's continue with the video. Now, step 5, you want to go to forexfactory.com. Forexfactory.com. It's something that you always want to do. You always want to check the news, right? Forexfactory.com, it's basically, you know how we have the news around the world for all the bad things that's going on, this is how you keep up to date with the foreign exchange market. Now, for forexfactory.com and how to know how to use this, I'm also going to put this at the end screen too. I made a video about this. Now, the yellow folders, that means it's good. You can trade it. The red folders means that you don't trade it. If you got an orange folder, that means you can trade it at your own risk, but you're probably going to lose money. All right? Yellow folder, trade. Orange folder, you might lose money. You still can trade. Red folder, do not trade at all. All right? That's simple. Forex Factory lets you know what is going on with the news in the Forex market. Right? Orange folder, good. Orange folder, trade at your own risk, but it's still good. You're more likely to lose money though. Red folder, no good. Yellow folder, we like it. We love yellow folders. That means we can trade. Right? That is step 5. Step 1, find a broker, nvfx.com. Step 2, you want to download MetaTrader 4. Right? Download MetaTrader 4, and that's where you're going to take your trades. Step 3, download TradingView, either on your phone or go on your laptop, make an account. Step 4, you need a strategy. I showed y'all the Delorean strategy for the buying part of the Delorean strategy. The blue candle must be bigger than the red. The red line must cut through. The aqua line must be within 10 pips. Use the ruler tool to find that out. And then you just need 10 pips of space to make money. And that means, okay, step 4, that means you should have nothing but blank space in front of you, above you, and you should have 10 pips or more so you can make money, right? Step 4, do you have space? If you have 10 pips or more above of space, blank space, then you can take the trade and make money. Super simple. For a sell, you want a super red candle bigger than a blue candle. You want the red line to cut through the red and the blue candle. You want the aqua line to be closely above within 10 pips. Use the ruler tool to find it out. Step 4, you want to make sure that there's nothing but 10 pips or more of blank space below you. Make sure that there's no lines in the way. If you get a yes to all 4, you take the trade for either a buy or a sell. Now, the next thing that's going to make me get into, knowing what times to trade, what days to trade, and what times to trade. Now, the day and times that you're going to trade, I made a video on this too. I make a lot of video about this stuff. Y'all need to watch it, right? What days to trade? Tuesday to Thursday, Tuesday through Thursday. What days to trade? Tuesday through Thursday is the perfect days to trade. You make the most money. Monday, you can trade at your own risk. You might lose money, but it's not that bad of a day. Sunday and Friday, do not trade. The banks are going to steal your money. That is the days the banks are either just opening or closing. So the banks are going to take your money. You're not the only person in the market. You got multimillionaires. You got companies like Coca-Cola, multinational corporations, right? And then you got the banks, the big bucks that hold trillions of dollars that are making the market move. So on Sundays and Fridays, they basically control the market and take money from retail traders like us. So that means stay away from the market on Mondays and Fridays. Now, the best time to trade, 2 a.m. to 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time using the Delorean strategy. The best time to trade, 2 a.m. to 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time using the Delorean strategy. Now, I just literally just showed y'all how to learn the market. That is how you start day trading. Now, go back, rewatch this video. Watch the videos that I put at the end screens, and also watch what I said that I'm going to put up there as well, right? Which I believe I said that, MetaTrader 4, how to use MetaTrader 4, how to take trades. I'm going to put that up there as the end card. Now, make sure you like, comment, hit that post notification bell, put it on all, and subscribe. A lot of content. We're going to continue to grow. We about to take off in the algorithm, right? And just continue to keep following. This is not the only channel that I'm going to have. I'm going to make some more channels, but this is more so my investment and business type of channel. Now, real estate content is coming. I just haven't made it yet. I got it. I'm sitting on it. I haven't dropped it yet, but I'm going to drop it. Some content that I'm going to be reacting to for credit to help y'all all with some credit, what credit cards to use, how to get your credit up. I'm going to do some reaction videos to that. I'm going to switch up the content a little bit. So bear with me. I'm not a one-trick pony. I don't want to stay in just one place. We're going to continue to grow. Y'all going to like it either way because y'all getting value. Like, comment, subscribe. Leave a comment for what video ideas you want me to do. But either way, I'm going to find what video ideas I should do. Let me know what videos I should do so it can be easier for me to make videos for you to help you out. Appreciate you guys. Sauce 1K Boss family. We out.
Blue screens give me goosebumps. I'm not knowing what